Namaskar everyone. My name is Nishikant. We are from the Skillmine and we will be starting with our presentation from Skillmine Technologies. Before I start, आप सभी ने एक मुहावरा तो सुना ही होगा, घर का भेदी लंका ढाए। अभी आप सभी ने देखा होगा कि रिसेंटली एक सिनेरियो हुआ था जहां पे हमारी नीट की एग्जामिनेशन पे हमारा ट्रस्ट लूज हुआ था क्योंकि the exam papers were leaked. And the reason for that exam paper leakage was the own members of the NTA organization who has caused that leak. So the reason I wanted to begin with this whole message is because whenever an organization loses the cyber security part, it is not the organization's revenue or the security which is lost. It is the trust on that organization which is at stake. So in here, there is the traditional approach of any organization. How do they approach the cybersecurity problem is that they basically have multiple, I would say, applications. Like you have one for the ZTNA, you have one for the IAM, you have one solution which is specifically for your devices in terms of your device MFA and security posture check. Now, what causes all of this is that it gives the organization a very false sense of security because you have multiple applications managing multiple sector and there is a friction which is caused in the synchronization of those applications. And the main issue why there is a lapse in cyber security is not because of any technological reason. It is simple, the drawback which you get if you enhance the security, basically you have less convenience, and people generally in day-to-day real life opt for convenience, and that is where there is a lapse because your IAM or your ZTNA, your device MFA, your IGA and your PAM, these are all the different kinds of solutions which are available in the market, but they are not working in cohesion, and this gives a sense of friction to all of your users and the employees, and that is where we like to differ. Because how we started our journey is that we didn't start with just focusing on the IAM aspect. We are actually providing a full stack ZTA. And the reason why I say that is because we have all the 5 pillars in place. We cover what is there in your IAM SSO, we cover what is there in your IGA, we cover what is there in your ZTNA in terms of reverse proxy. We have the device MFA, which means you can secure your servers as well as your desktop application. Now, this is something which is very different in terms of your traditional approach. Because does anyone can actually answer me, what do you think is the average cost of what we say a cybersecurity attack in the Indian organization? Any estimate, any guess? So I would like to highlight that we, on an average, whenever there is a cybersecurity threat which happens, it is going to cost an organization 22 crores of revenue. And that is a huge amount. And this is just, we are talking on the financial part. There's a lot more damage which is going to happen on the trust factor, which we have seen in terms of the NTA and the NEET examinations. So now for all of this, there is a process which we like to follow, is that we don't want the organizations to basically replace and rip out their existing scenario. We want them to start with any one of the pillars which we are providing, build maturity step by step, and then increase their coverage using their other pillars. So that is what the Skillmine Auth offers. And the reason why we make a difference is that it's not just in terms of our implementation part. It is more in terms of our easeability and the ease of implementation. Because trust me, I think so everyone here knows that it's not the features which are actually the deciding factor in any product or any what we say application. It is basically how well it can be deployed, how well it can be implemented, how does it actually support the necessary application. Because simple reason, we as Indians generally tend to go for the convenience in terms of integration, and that is where the security lapses are. It is the convenience in which we think that, oh, okay, I have integrated 20 of my applications out of the 30 are non-critical ones. It's okay if I don't have MFA there. And that is where we like to differ, because we make sure that we target the complete coverage of your organization in terms of cybersecurity. And that is where we have like the Windows credential-based governance, where we can actually control your Windows servers, Windows laptops, OS level password, your task scheduler password, your services password. We have in terms of your reverse proxy, which is making sure that your applications are not becoming a blocker for the integration. Because what we like to do is that we are making the access control of your application not be dependent on whether, oh, my vendor is not available right now. I don't want that. So that is where we have these reverse proxy feature coming in. And with all of this, we basically have this whole Skillmine auth as an full stack ZTA platform for coverage. Now I would like to actually bring Rajeshwari onto the stage for the next part. But one message which I would like to say before I leave the stage, sir, is that it's been 10 years since we have gotten the message that let's make in India. But in my limited experience, I've seen many of the organizations still going for the commodity product and enterprise product. So today at this stage, I would like to propose not just make in India, but let's be biased for India and actually choose the Indian products. Thank you.
Namaskar, Bharat. I hope everyone are doing good. So I just wanted to share one incident that happened with me last month. So it was the marriage ceremony of my brother-in-law. It was not a serious incident at all. The coordination among people was unbelievable. Everyone was working with some or the other task. Most of you might be married over here, so I can understand the pain with all of you. So the same thing happened. Lot of chaos. People were taking care of the vendors, some were taking care of the receipts, some were managing the guest. And on the other side, Fufaji was sitting idle because he was not unhappy with the service that he was getting in. And at the end of the day, the questions were same, like who is handling this? Who is taking care of the receipts? Who is managing the guest? Who gave the approval for this? And, the interesting thing was no one was sitting idle. Everyone was working hard. Yet there was a confusion. Why? Because people didn't have a centralized visibility. No ownership tracking, no structured monitoring. And this thing triggered me. Why? Because I've seen the same thing among a lot of organizations dealing with the compliances. There is a lot of scattered data across emails, WhatsApp, then SharePoint, share folders, and it is very difficult for the organizations to manage it. It is not because organizations don't have the compliances. It is because they don't have the centralized visibility. Recently, I met one CISO. He said, Rajeshwari, my team is brilliant. 60% of the time, they behave like librarians. Why? Because they keep on fetching up the data, updating the trackers, following up with the people. This is not because of the people. The pain point is not because of the people at all. It is the way the process is carried out. See, if your evidence lives in the folders, if your approval lives in the chats, and if your risk lives in the heads, then trust me, you're not managing a GRC process at all. You are doing a scavenger hunt. And that's wherein we are bringing in our IT GRC platform, Compliant. So Compliant is a complete GPS for all your compliances. It has almost 50 plus predefined regulatory standards comprising of your ISO 27001, GDPR, PCI DSS, HIPAA, SOC 2, DPDP. And other than that, it also tells your IT person which evidence to collect and to upload at what ISO control and at when. And not only that, it also reminds your policy owner, when he has to do the approvals, he has to publish that policy so that you don't be a bad person chasing them every time. And your chairperson will be very happy. Why? Because he gets one single screen with red, amber, and green status for their regulatory standards. And how does it work? Very simple. We have predefined controls. You just have to assign those controls to different owners. They get an email notification. They have to upload the evidences. They have to send it to the reviewers. Reviewers will review it. Approvals will approve it. And that's it. You are done with the audit journey. So as I said, our GRC platform, Compliant, acts as a single source of truth for managing all your GRC activities. be it your policy management, risk management, KPI, KRI rules, your vendor management, because we have seen that we spend a lot of time managing the due diligence, risk assessment for the vendors. The same thing, we are trying to solve these pain points with the help of our GRC solution. So at the end, I just wanted to say that, be it a marriage ceremony of my brother-in-law or be it a GRC process, the success is not dependent on how effectively or how hard the people are working. The success is determined how effectively they are working, how it is structured, how it is monitored. And that's wherein other GRC tools can help you to, record the compliances. Compliance helps you to run the compliances. And only one thing, discussions would not help, demonstrations would. So if you want to have a demonstration, please join us to our booth. Thank you so much.